doing wonderful. I wanted to mention a couple of things before I even start your reading. First of all, Pisces full moon, September 2nd, your full moon, gonna be in your sign, might be feeling sensitive, might get a lot of spirit communication coming through. However, before I started, I brought in my crystal ball. It's just a glass bubble ball. That's nothing special. But I saw distinctly before we started a number 6 in the ball. And it just took away whatever else I had thought of. But it did give me number 6. There was something else. It'll probably come back to me. Oh, yes. Thank you, Spirit. Interesting. Okay, it's implying you guys might be a little spacey or forgetful at this time. The energy has shifted in the room. It wanted me to specifically infuse your reading with Reiki healing. So I have. You're the only sign I've done it for. It wanted me to do the Hon Shao Zi Shao Nin, which is a symbol which heals across all time and space and distance, past, present, and future. And it is very powerful, it wants to say. So there has been some Reiki energy already infused in this reading. All you have to do is accept it, and let's get started. Just be very quiet, factual. Number 6. The number 6 is a very spiritual number, very much related to feminine energy, at least in my world, and what I connect it with and how it's appeared for me. It is Virgo season. Virgo is the 6th zodiac on the wheel. In my previous Pisces reading, I was saying how Virgo was the energy that you needed to step into because of the fact that it is the opposite sign on the wheel, and that just seemed to be the advice coming through, was like to step into the opposite energy on the wheel. Virgo is very much analytical, a list maker, does things by the book, follows the rules, very orderly, very perfectionist, very organized. That's like their daily habits. But when it comes to them in spiritual terms, they're also represented by the number 9. So then there's the 6 and the 9. You get that beautiful kind of wheel. But their energy is very much the hermit energy, reclusive, keeps to themselves, goes within, very secluded, that kind of stuff. So there's still some recommendations, it feels like, coming through for you guys to seek out the qualities of that energy and to stay in it. And that's what I'm getting for you guys. And it wants me to pull 6. No, it doesn't. It lied. So let's start with these 2. Okay, Pisces. Look, y'all's little moon is being crazy. It wants me to do different things for you guys. Like really different things for you guys. So, wow, I've never pulled cards like that. That's what it wants, though, I'm telling you. Okay, it wants to start with these 2. It wants to build with these 2. And it kind of wants these 2 last. I don't know if that's where they'll stay. It wanted to point out this crystal too, Labradorite. Beautiful blue flash. Got it on Instagram from Loving Thyself Rocks. Literally, like, amazing. Okay. We're ready now. That's beautiful. The Empress. You've done a lot of work, Pisces, and you're currently sitting in some feminine energies. Very strong feminine energies, though. This Empress is very much about sitting in the energy of receiving. Feminine energy always receives. Like, think about like an electrical outlet, right? Like there's the outlet in the wall, that's the female, and then there's the masculine, and that's the plug, and then you plug it in. So the feminine energy is always going to be about receiving things. Receiving messages, receiving gifts, receiving people as in guests, like always that receiving energy. But at the same time, this is a warrior empress. Man, I like my whole back just like vibrated in this weird way when I was adjusting in my chair. She's got like a Trojan horse helmet on. Like she's very much a warrior empress, and she pretty much has this golden staff here too. And she's essentially holding a figure of like herself in her hand. And what that kind of represents is how it's giving me the song, like, he's got the whole world in his hands. But it's bringing it back to this, and it's like, she's got the whole world in her hands. It is made in her image, is what it just said. And so that's where it's kind of like your inner energies, your feminine energy, is receiving a lot of gifts and blessings and signs and things from spirit, and is very intuitively connected to spirit, and has learned how to start shaping the world in its own image, in your image. And it just said like it's really happy about that, like it's very proud of that. This card hasn't been fully uncovered yet, though. I can tell. Like, there's something still kind of hanging out in there. What's beside it? This Five of Cups energy. Okay, there's a really interesting comparison here already. I want you to notice first and foremost how she's got like columns that she's standing between, and then this is almost like a column and there's these cups, but like look at when you put these cards side by side, it's like there's a wall in between these two figures. And this can be just a wall within yourself. It's like there's this very strong feminine energy that's ready to receive everything from the universe, and it's all in its like warrior queen mode, right? Like ready to build the world in her image, run the empire, receive all the gifts from above, and just keep rocking it. And then there's also this figure, and where she's got the helmet on and it's kind of protecting and blocking her face, this one has a mask that is being come off. This Five of Cups is very different from some other ones in the decks. This is about wanting to take a mask off, and the definition of this card in this deck is specifically about like letters, like wanting to, or like carrying letters in your heart, like having a lot to say. And that's why there's the desire to take the mask off. It's like there's very much some emotional energy hiding, and it wants me to show you the Five of Cups in this other deck just so you can see the big difference. There's a general energy to Five of Cups, which is about sorrow and mourning. There it is. Like cups being spilled over, and these are things you can't get back, but also not turning around to see the value of other things in your life. Very sorrowful, very mournful. The bridge that's back here too, I always say like his body has cut off the flow of energy, and it's like, it's almost too like he wanted to get over here to this castle, and the way is like blocked literally by all this darkness, all this blackness, all this, you know, this cloak, this heavy energy. And it's like if all he did was walk over here and go across the bridge, he could easily get over there, right? Or if he just, or if you're just talking about the cups, turned around and saw these other two cups here, then it's like, you know, he wouldn't be so sad type deal. And so this is what a typical Five of Cups, this is very different. This is like very resolute, very much ready to take off a mask. Whereas, I just put it back in the deck and hit it. Whereas the other one is like the face is hidden and they're kind of stooped over and bent over and like crying a little bit. I'm sorry if you can hear my dogs in the background. This one's like certain, still, ready. Like the mask looks freaked out and scared, but her face is for sure not, right? So there's a lot of that in here too. It's like there's, feels like there's two halves of you. It's like one part of you, it just said some pride. Like, that's what I mean. Like you're very proud. You're very strong. You are very connected to spirit and you're doing very well, which is good to hear. Because like I said, your last reading was kind of like, whew. But at the same time, there's some stuff hiding in there. Some stuff hiding in there, Pisces. And you want to take the mask off. Okay. Wants to come over here. And the reason why this mask wants to come off is there's a lot of distance and a lot of waiting to figure out some things that are kind of brewing, happening in your life. This Two of Wands is very much about some distance, but it's very small distance. It's like, okay, wands we use for magic, right? They're literally magical objects. So it's almost like these wands are magically appearing in the air, but there's just a little bit of space down here to where they haven't fully touched down at the bottom of this card. They haven't fully touched down. And that's what part of this is. It's like, because that's where her eyes are going directly. It's like just down here to this little bitty centimeter of space that hasn't fully touched down yet. And there's a lot of waiting energy in that too. It's like waiting to see it touch down. It's also implying though that this person is only focused on this little bitty space right here instead of noticing all the growth that is really happening, like seeing how big and tall these wands actually are. Because as much as they haven't touched down on the bottom either, they haven't completely touched the top. So it's like they're very mysterious. They're just floating in this space. It's very unsure, and that's why there's just kind of this like watching, waiting, hiding behind masks, hiding behind a wall. What are we doing? Like that whole kind of thing. You're waiting on, and it could literally be a couple of different options. You're waiting on a couple of things to like touch down before you, I think, pull a mask off and kind of open up and speak about some things that you're clearly kind of separating off within yourself, right? It wants to do this. And then beneath this Empress, we have the Knave of Swords. This one's been kind of popping out today. This is a Page of Swords. This is like very small communications coming in. And it did the same thing for Capricorn too. You might actually have a lot of Capricorn in your chart because this message is coming through. It's pointing out that the helmet is on the ground in this card, which is saying that kind of like it's been bringing up the fact like we're all wearing masks and stuff these days. So if you think about a helmet and you think about a mask and you think about how these things are out here protecting us right now in general from it's kind of nice. It's kind of talking about like social distancing too in a joking way. It's like how they protect us from like all kinds of stuff, not just disease. It's like you don't have to deal with people when you put your mask on and you put your helmet on. This helmet is down, which is implying that it's okay. Like this communication coming in is okay. And there's still a bodysuit on and there's still a sword in the hand. It's not fully like letting its guard down. It just said like this little energy is gonna just like run up and kind of like say what it's gotta say and then just kind of like but it's very much implying that this helmet is down on the ground, as in like there's a bit of rest. It's peaceful, it's just neutral, it's safe communication type deal. This is a number 11 card that's been really coming up. Definitely Pisces full moon. Anytime we have like a full moon, it's an energy portal, so there's energies coming through. So this could very much be directly related to that full moon. I would say for sure it's in your own sign, like hello. So it wants to come back up to this mask, and that's the thing. It's pointing out the mask and the helmets that are coming off and that are down, and then it's pointing out the last one that's still on. And like it's not that it's not saying this is bad, because that's the thing, like sometimes we need helmets, Okay, nice, Pisces. It's bringing up the fact that I recently have been discovering that my crown chakra has just been like upgrading, that was a weird little voice. I didn't realize that I was picking up on other people's thoughts and stuff, like almost directly. And it was one of those things, like the day that I realized that it was all happening, it was actually through a conversation with someone else, and they just said something that kind of made me understand the thousands of little synchronicities and signs that were coming through my head, because I didn't understand where everything was coming from. And it was very confusing, and my crown chakra was very busy, very confused, like did not understand what the hell was going on. And then this person just said something, and it was like, it just went click, click, click in my head, and I just understood. I was like, oh my God. And it wants me to bring this up because something that I've personally had to start doing is really thinking about wearing things on my head to protect my crown energy. And that's where it comes back to a helmet. It kind of brings up, it's bringing up the fact that helmets, head coverings like headscarves, hijabs, it's bringing up also, it's brought up before, like how Wolverine in X-Men has like the metal plating in his whole body and like in his head, and that's the whole thing. It's like that's why he can always get like beat all to hell and everything. And so it's just talking about protecting your crown energy, and like that's the energy that's okay to keep. That's the energy that you should keep. That's the helmet you should keep. You should keep protection on your crown, literally, like physically. Sometimes for me in this case, like I started wearing a really thin little headband that just goes over the front of my head, and I joke and call it like my halo because it's like I really need something on my head sometimes to keep my mind clear. And that might be where some of this there's a complicated message coming through, in the sense that you're both being advised to like take masks off and be aware that like your helmet can come off, because there's some things that are safely being communicated at this time. And yet at the same time, it's pointing out this golden helmet and how it's more of like protection of that crown chakra. And also third eye too, like she's got the nose piece that comes down, right? And so that's the other thing, is like it's about your third eye chakra too. There's some psychic protection that might need to be in place, but I think you're doing a good job with it too. But especially under this Pisces full moon, just be aware, because there's some things coming in, but it is implying that it's kind of safe. There's some things apparently that kind of brewing around in you, but it's a little divided down this middle. Why? Because there's some things that still haven't fully touched down, and you're just kind of waiting. I'm gonna side these up. Okay. Nope. Hang on. You know what's driving me crazy is there's like this constant like today on your pile, and the fact that it wants to be in this like line. It just said like a door, like window panes, or like in a row, like little rows. For some reason it just said 10 little Indians. Like I don't even know. There's something about order here. It just said having all the boxes checked, like having everything in a row. That's what I mean. Some things haven't fully touched down, but there's some things coming through to kind of reveal this. And yes, this very much is a communication card. That's what I mean. It's like, and I swear this was in your last reading, and if it wasn't the last reading, it was somebody else's, but this card's been coming out a lot too. It's like Spirit has been really sending you all kinds of communications at this time, through all kinds of people, all kinds of dreams, all kinds of experiences, and there's a lot of things. It just said, that's what I mean. It just said like there's a lot of things to say, and that's both coming from Spirit, and it's talking about your energy in general, Pisces. So there's a lot of things to say. But over here on this right side, which is more of that masculine side, which ironically has all the women in it. So you're very much kind of chilling in this feminine energy overall. You got 4 feminine cards here. There's a lot of feminine energy sitting in there. Lots of feels, lots of emotions, lots of inner work. Lots of inner work. Which makes me feel like this is external to you, like outside energy literally coming in. This all feels internal. This feels like an outside energy coming in to deliver a message. This feels like a lot of good strength internally, but again, on the other side, there's this energy. There's this energy. It wants me to sit here and be quiet because of the same message that I was giving to you here about the helmets and the masks. It wants me to sit and be quiet because of the same message I was giving you about the helmets and the masks. It's like protecting your energy, protecting your crown. It wants me to make sure that I'm tapped into the right channel. It wants me to make sure there's no psychic interference. That's what I mean. There's a lot of communication coming through for you. And you're doing a lot of sorting on the inside, and that is especially why Spirit is telling you to keep your helmet on, and yet at the same time, it's like, man, dude, Pisces, what the fuck? Oh my God. Okay, we about to get some clarifiers up in here. Let me just move to this card. There's clearly a lot of nostalgia. This is a 6 of Cups, can definitely be like some past energy. Inner child healing, soulmate healing. Soulmates can be friends, family, loved ones, all kinds of things. There's not really a full definition for that, but that's what this card usually kind of represents. Either somebody like literally from your past, like childhood, or it's like an ancestor, or it's some other kind of deep soul connection that brings a lot of nostalgia and reflection and sweet memories and things like that. So there's a lot of that energy coming in too. And with that coming out here under this Page of Swords, I would say that's exactly what this is. So this is either, it just said child. So this is either a real child, or there have been some spirit babies floating around. Could, Pisces, that might be some of what this is. That might be what some of what this is. And look, there's that number 6 I was telling you showed up in the crystal ball too. That's what I mean. Okay, dude. Yeah, I could see that. I could totally see that. Take that how that resonates for you. It's kind of implying that there has been some good communications coming through for you, safe communications that have been coming through for you, but you might have had your helmet on to block some things out, and so therefore you didn't accept it. But that's because you were doing the sorting I was doing earlier, and it's like you're trying to make sure like what is legit for you and what is not. A lot of things haven't fully come to fruition, so you're kind of like waiting and looking and watching, very much hiding behind a mask, kind of separating off some things. Something just grabbed my right arm around my bicep, dude, like whoop. That's what I mean. Some things are trying to talk to you, grab you, get your attention, communicate with you, but you've been kind of like sorting through some stuff. There's been a lot of confusion, and it might very well be your spirit baby, which I just did another tiny reading that I posted. It was like I was just showing you my new deck, and one of those piles had that. So if you also watched that reading and you got that pile, and you're here at this reading and you got this, then that's some kind of confirmation. I don't know. Let's get some clarifiers, dude. Like, I'm just going to say for sure, being very protective of your crown. It just like gave me these. Being very protective of your crown. knowing what energies are safe to accept, knowing which ones are not, letting down a little bit of a pride wall. There was something there about that, but it has a lot to do with all the work you've done on yourself, right? So just remember to kind of like stay humble. All right, I want a card up here. I want a card up here. I want a card down here. And you might not be able to see everything quite just yet, so I'm going to pull this one down. That's what I'm saying. King of Pentacles, yes. Like, okay. That's what I'm saying. Let me move these over here. It just said when I did that, it's like you part, like I parted the ways, like I helped rearrange something, like how I was complaining about how everything's in a freaking line, and it's like I just did that and it was like, thank you. Like it like opened it up. So that's part of it too. It's like it doesn't want you to be in that box. It wants you to like free flow, which is how I pulled your cards today too. It still wants you in your own energy, Pisces. It just wants you to understand, okay, thank you, Spirit. When it comes to the crown, when it comes to all that energy and that sorting energy, that's where the Virgo energy comes in, because it's very much within itself and secluded, right? This King of Pentacles coming out on top of this Empress and this Five of Cups, that's what I mean. It's like manifested some things, running that empire, got that money, got the good steak, got the nice wine, got the bills paid, sitting on your throne, sitting pretty, literally sitting pretty, like boom. Very much, yeah, just beautiful masculine energy on the outside, right? And then within, there is this really nice Empress energy. You've done a lot of inner work too, and that's what helped put you in this King of Pentacles status and helped you manifest and manage all of this. But there's something still kind of hiding, and that's where it's like his face is like kind of looking down. It's not sad, it's just very thoughtful, right? There's some things that still haven't been fully sorted out within you, and you kind of got that energy hiding within you, literally hiding behind a wall. Interesting. There's a wall right here behind him. It's like literally hiding behind a wall, literally separated by a wall. These energies within you are literally hiding behind a wall and being separated inside of you behind some kind of wall you've put up. What's up with these? Look at that, King of Cups energy. So then we have this Page of Swords and the Two of Wands. Okay, so what this is saying basically is also how I was saying, like, there's some communications coming in that are safe, but it's like you haven't fully acknowledged them because there's a couple of things that haven't fully manifested. This King of Cups energy is very much all about being super emotionally balanced, and it's kind of implying that once these two wands touch down, once whatever these things are touch down, once this safe communication comes in, then it's like it establishes this King of Cups energy, just like how all the inner work established that King of Pentacles and helped you manifest and manage all of this. This message, these things finally coming through, are what help you complete the inner work that puts you in the King of Cups energy. So you've got two kings here. It's very much about balanced money, world, real life, physical stuff, and also very balanced in your emotions. Like just, I said, just running it in the sense of like, man, like, knows how to express their emotions, knows how to act on their emotions properly in a very healthy, balanced way, knows what to say, knows when to say it, knows how to nurture, knows how to give, knows how to receive. Again, there's that feminine energy. Cups is always feminine, knows how to receive as well. Very, very, very balanced masculine emotional energy. Very, very balanced masculine physical energy. Coming out on this last pile here. Yes, that's what I'm saying. Okay, and here's the 9. A 6 and a 9. I'm telling you, 6s and 9s, yo. So like I was saying, this might be either just some nostalgia and memories and blasts from the past kind of stuff, like coming through in dreams or communications and stuff like that from spirit, or this is literally possibly your spirit baby trying to communicate with you, like one and done. That's what these cards usually represent, is like childlike energy, communication, soulmate, past life, nostalgia energy, communication. That's what these represent. And then you've got this card. This card is literally the card in the deck that's about wish fulfillment. It's also about being content and counting what you have and being grateful. It says make sure you tell the universe thank you before you even receive the things that you want, because you've already got all of these cups, so you're very content, you're very satisfied, you're very happy, you're very successful, you got everything you need in these cups. But that's the whole thing, is this card represents wish fulfillment coming through for you. Wish fulfillment, and that just means like things coming true, wishes coming true, dreams coming true. It just gave me the song, a dream is a wish your heart makes. A Cinderella, I believe. Disney Cinderella. A dream is a wish your heart makes. Kind of like being the prince at the ball and then Cinderella shows up, or a similar kind of concept. And she gets all of her wishes fulfilled, right? She got a fairy godmother. Like, that's what I mean. Wish fulfillment card. It's kind of giving all of that. Let's get one last thing. What's on the bottom of this deck? What's the final word for you? Pisces. This 10 of freaking wands, yo. Like, this was in your last reading. And I've done some other readings for like kind of like some pick-a-piles and stuff like that recently, and I saw this a lot too. And I didn't publish everything just because I was busy and then blah blah blah. But this has been out a lot for all kinds of signs, but especially for your sign. You have been carrying a lot of weight, a lot of burdens, a lot of responsibilities, dealing with just a lot of stuff, and that energy is still kind of here. But I feel like you're finally on the last wand. I feel like you're finally about to lay that card down, you know? And it's showing you what all of your inner work has done for you, and that's what's being revealed to you through the full moon. All the inner work has brought you some great strength, but it's also still left a couple of things behind a wall, but it helped you manifest some physical money and things that you needed. There's some messages coming through and some things still having to be waited on, but this is helping you mature in your emotions and become this King of Cups energy. You've got possible some kind of spirit communication and some wish fulfillment coming through on that. So there you go. That feels awesome. And you're wrapping up the cycle still. I feel like this, I keep tapping this like this is the freaking moon. like I feel like this Pisces full moon is really going to help bring some wisdom through for you. And the last thing I want to mention as I'm looking in here is I see a bunch of power lines, like the power lines that run between phone poles, and it's specifically saying phone poles. So that's what I mean. The spirit lines of communication are open. It just brought up like the fact like scam calls and stuff like that. And that's what your crown is doing with all kinds of spirit signals too, just like you do with your phone. You kind of have to screen some of your calls. Sometimes we screen calls that we actually needed though, right? So if it leaves you a voicemail, you pick it up. Like that kind of stuff. Protect your crown, sort out the energies, but also stay very positive, because there is a lot of good energy in this reading, and I'm glad that it's finally kind of picked up for your sign, because it's been very heavy lately. So that's what I got for you. Like I said, I did infuse this one with some Reiki healing just because for some reason it wanted me to do that right before I started, and it was vibing. I could feel it. So hope that you do receive that healing. I hope this message was nice for you, and I will catch you guys later. Thank you.